Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So this weekend I have my first ever sprint triathlon. So that's a 400-meter swim followed by a 20-kilometer bike ride and then a 5-kilometer run. So overall it's a pretty short event, and in this video I'm going to take you through my general strategy for it and set myself some goals. So this event is a warm-up for me. It's a warm-up for my main goal of the summer, which is a half Ironman, which is happening in August. Right, let's jump straight into it. So first up is obviously the swim. So like I said, this is a 400-meter swim. It's outdoor in a pool, a 25-meter pool, so I've got to do 16 lengths. I'm pretty new to swimming. I did learn to swim in school, but since then I really have not done much swimming, so this is probably the bit I am most nervous about. In training, I've done quite a few 400-meter intervals, and normally it takes me just over 10 minutes to do. So that's a pace of 2.5 minutes per 100 meters, which is pretty slow, all things considered. So for me, just getting through the swim without being too tired is my main goal. With it being a pool swim, there's no need for a wetsuit or anything like that, which would just make things way more complicated. So coming out of the swim, I hopefully shouldn't be too tired. The main thing I need to remember to do here is press the button to start the transition on my Garmin watch. There is a feature which is supposed to automatically transition for you, but I've never used that before, and they always say never to try something new on race day. Anyway, coming out the swim, I'll head to the bike section. At this point, all I have to do is dry my feet, put on my socks, and then put on my bike shoes. I'm not sure about going sockless. It's definitely something I'll look into trying in the future, but for now, I'm definitely just gonna embrace the comfort of socks. I'll also need to remember to take my phone out of the transition box and put it in the back pocket of my tri-suit. That's just like a safety thing for me. I always like to have my phone on me just in case something happens and I need to call someone to be picked up or something. Anyway, on the bike, I'm going to put 2 gels, maybe 3, I've not decided yet. I hope to get the 20-kilometer bike ride done in about 40 minutes with an average speed of about 30 kilometers an hour. That would be quite a nice goal. I'll be trying to get as aero as possible. Because I don't have a fancy triathlon bike, for me that just means getting nice and low in the drops. As it's such a short event, I think 2 gels will be fine. I'll probably take one as soon as I get on the bike, and then one just as I'm coming off the bike to give me some energy for the run. So on the bike, I'm going to try and hit my target wattage. I've never done a bike ride after a swim before, so I'll be interested to see how my legs are feeling. With the course being on open roads, I'm not going to take any silly risks, just riding safely and within myself. If after about 20 minutes I'm feeling good, I'll probably try to squeeze a bit more power out of my legs. I obviously don't want to go really deep. I don't need to have a lot of energy left in me to be able to run a 5K. It's something I can do hopefully pretty easily. There is one tiny climb on the route. It's only about 40 meters of elevation gain. So for that, I'm going to dig a bit deeper and hopefully squeeze out a bit more watts. They always say that on the steepest parts of the course, you should put out more power because that's the best way to save time. There are a few points on the course where you need to put your foot down as a mandatory stop just to check for traffic. So obviously I'm going to be doing that, otherwise I could be disqualified. So coming into the second transition, all I really need to do here is take off my helmet and bike shoes and put on my running shoes. For the first 1K of the run, my legs are probably going to be feeling pretty terrible, so I'm going to take it quite easy. I've done a few brick runs in training where you come off the bike straight into a run, and always my legs feel a bit rubbish, which I think is pretty normal for all triathletes. So like I said, I'll be going easy for the first kilometer, and then hopefully if the legs are feeling good, I'll try to increase the pace as I go. So coming into the run, I'll probably be aiming at about 6 minutes per kilometer and then increasing that every kilometer, and hopefully by the end I should be under 5 minutes per kilometer. That's the goal anyway. If I'm feeling really good on race day, I want to be able to do the 5K in under 25 minutes. But I do think that might be pushing it. Even on a normal day, I would probably struggle to run a 25-minute 5K in the current state I'm in. But I do feel like if it goes really well, I might have it in me. My 5K PR is just under 22 minutes, so maybe if everything falls into place, I might be able to do quite well. So the run course is around the perimeter of a park, so I'm not sure about the surface. It's probably going to be on grass, and depending on the weather the previous few days, it might be quite muddy. So that is also something to take into account, because if it's all slippery and muddy, obviously I'm not going to be able to go as fast. And the main thing for me with this being a warm-up event is I don't want to fall over and hurt myself. So how about an overall time goal? So I think the 400-meter swim should take me around 10 minutes, the 20-kilometer bike maybe around 40 minutes, and the 5K run about 25 minutes. So adding all those together, I get an hour and 15 minutes. add say 5 minutes in for transitions, I would be pretty happy to do the whole event in about 1 hour and 20 minutes. That might be pushing it a bit though. That's if everything falls into place and I feel great on the day. If not, a more realistic goal might be around 1.5 hours, which again, I don't think is a particularly bad time. The biggest variable here is probably the bike, depending on the weather, which at the moment is forecast for sun, but you know, England, it could be chucking it down that day. If it's really windy, if it's rainy, obviously I'm gonna have to go a lot slower on the bike. I don't want to be like shooting around any corners or anything, especially in the wet. Also, if it's windy, obviously that will slow me down quite a lot. So for me, just riding to the conditions is the way to go forwards. No risk taking for me at all. So I would really like to set a good time, but for me, the main thing is just having fun and learning how a proper triathlon event works. Like I said, this is a warm-up event for me. So even if the result is not great, this is just a building block for me and an opportunity to learn. To be honest, I just want to finish the event, get the medal, and get a real life triathlon event in the books. Anyway, that's it from me. The event is next Sunday, so next week I should hopefully be dropping a video about how it goes. So if you want to see that, please give me a thumbs up and like the video, and please consider subscribing. All right, that's it from me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.